I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't fuck with this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And Young Boy ain't been missing from me. But I don't fuck with this song.
Plaque Boy Max just publicly violated NBA YoungBoy after YoungBoy threw a shot at him, calling him out by name on social media in front of millions of people. This wasn't some quiet little jab either. This was loud, bold, and impossible to ignore. Everybody already knows Max is not the type to back down, but what YoungBoy did next at Rolling Loud caught the whole crowd off guard. This is where one simple reaction turned into a full-blown war. In 2026, it doesn't take much, just one honest opinion about a song, and suddenly the internet is on fire. We're talking about a crazy clash between the streaming world and the rap world, two powerful lanes with huge fan bases and even bigger egos. When those spaces collide, it's not polite debates, it's chaos in real time. That's exactly what happened when one of the biggest streamers on the planet decided to keep it real about an NBA YoungBoy track. No sugarcoating, no fake hype, just a straight opinion. And what followed was pure madness. Phones started ringing nonstop, private calls happening behind the scenes, and diss tweets flying across timelines like rapid fire. A beef exploded out of nowhere, and nobody saw it coming. So let's really break this down step by step because this story has layers stacked on top of layers. If you blinked, you probably missed something major. Everything kicked off on February 20th, 2026, and from that day forward, it was tension everywhere. NBA YoungBoy dropped a new track called Head Tap from his project Slime Cry. Now, whether you rock with him or not, you can't deny the numbers. YoungBoy is one of the most streamed rappers of his generation, pulling in billions of views on YouTube alone. His supporters ride for him heavy, louder than almost any fan base in the game. And on top of that, he's built a reputation for never letting any type of disrespect slide, no matter who it comes from. That history matters, and we'll get deeper into it. But first, you need to understand the other side of this situation, because this isn't just about a rapper getting criticized, it's about who did the criticizing. Plaque Boy Max, real name Maxwell Elliott Dent, born April 3rd, 2003 out of West Orange, New Jersey, is not some random voice online. He's built his name off reactions, commentary, and saying exactly what's on his mind, even when it makes people uncomfortable. And when someone like that gives an opinion on someone like YoungBoy, especially in public, you already know sparks are about to fly. He's not just some random guy sitting behind a webcam reacting for fun. Max put real time in to build his name. He started off posting basketball videos on YouTube under the name Max Got Next, grinding from the bottom and learning the game. Then he switched lanes into reaction content, lifestyle videos, and gaming streams, leveling up his presence step by step. Early on, he linked with his crew and co-founded a content group called the Basement Boys, where they ran public interviews and freestyle sessions that helped him earn his first YouTube plaque. By April 2021, he launched his solo Twitch channel, and that's when things really took off. No looking back, no slowing down. By 2024 and 2025, he was ranked among Twitch's top streamers, stacking over 1.5 million followers and pulling around 5 million monthly watch hours. That's serious motion. He even signed with Field Trip Recordings, started dropping his own music that actually charted, built his own label called $5 Tar Records, and hit festival stages performing in front of thousands of fans. So when Plaque Boy Max talks about music on stream, people listen heavy. His words carry weight, and his audience moves with him. That kind of influence makes him a real force in the culture, not just online, but in the music space too. And that's exactly why what happened next hit so different for everyone involved. On February 20th, during a live Twitch stream, Plaque Boy Max pulled up YoungBoy's brand new track Head Tap and reacted to it in real time in front of thousands watching. But his response wasn't the glowing praise YoungBoy's fan base is used to hearing from reviewers. It was honest, straight up, and it caught people off guard. Let's look at exactly what Max said about the track.
I do not listen to this music as it is, bro. I don't want to hear gangbanger music. I don't want to hear trap music.
Right from the jump, Max made it clear this sound just isn't his vibe like that. He didn't try to fake hype it or force a reaction just to please anybody. He straight up said drill and heavy trap records aren't what he usually plays on a daily basis, so his opinion was coming from his own taste, not hate. But he didn't stop there. He kept talking, breaking down exactly why the track didn't connect with him and zooming out to speak on what he feels is happening in mainstream rap right now. He had more to say, and he made sure everybody heard it.
Because, bro, they actually have something to say. They actually have new words, bro. I'm not saying, like, NBA YoungBoy is trash.
So he basically drew a clear line right there for everybody watching. No confusion, no sneaky shots, just his stance out in the open. He wasn't calling YoungBoy trash as an artist, and he definitely wasn't saying the man has no talent at all. He made it clear he was talking about this one track, this one sound, and how it just didn't hit for him personally. That's a big difference. And he tried to spell that out so nobody could twist it. But after laying all that groundwork, after breaking down his reasoning step by step, he finally gave his final verdict on the record. And that's when things really started heating up.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
And that was it. That was the full critique. Max said he wasn't rocking with the song, gave it a low score, and even pointed out that YoungBoy usually doesn't miss for him as a listener. He called this track a miss, but made it clear it was just his honest opinion, no bad energy behind it at all. That's all he said. He didn't call YoungBoy out his name, didn't throw personal shots, didn't get disrespectful or reckless. He simply said one song didn't connect with him, period. That should have been the end of it. But here's what everyone already knows about NBA YoungBoy. He does not take criticism lightly. Not even a little bit. So when that clip started floating around online and he saw one of the biggest streamers in the world telling millions of viewers that his brand new track was a miss, something clearly hit a nerve. YoungBoy jumped straight onto X and let off a direct rant aimed at Plackboy Max. He posted, "Plack, you a bitch. You could have been reacted and said you ain't like that song, you just lie. He like a girl. Sit this one out. My boy ain't gonna play with you and don't respond to me. Fuck you, P." That post pulled in over 11,000 likes fast and had the whole internet in shock within minutes. Think about that for a second. One of the biggest rappers on the planet publicly going at a streamer over a song review, telling him to sit this one out and firing off heavy words for everyone to see. All of that over one opinion on one track. And it didn't stop there. YoungBoy's camp stepped in too. His stepdad Montana jumped on social media and started talking tough about Plackboy Max as well. He basically made it clear that YoungBoy isn't rocking with streamers right now and that they should fall back. Montana's message was simple and direct. If Max doesn't like the music, then just say that and go react to somebody else. No need to keep circling back. But by this point, the situation was already heating up and the internet was locked in heavy.
He'll probably go opposite way, just say you don't fuck with us, go play them other dudes.
That was Montana's whole energy right there. And the internet, it went crazy from every single direction. Social media exploded overnight. Fans were split straight down the middle. Some people were riding hard for Max, saying he has every right to speak his mind and give an honest review. Others were accusing him of chasing attention or being low-key disrespectful to YoungBoy. And everybody knows YoungBoy's supporters are some of the most loyal and intense fan bases in hip-hop culture. They started flooding Max's streams, his comment sections, his DMs, everywhere you could possibly reach him. It wasn't just tweets either. People were calling into his live streams, warning him not to push things any further. The pressure was real and it was loud. But this is where it really shifted to another level, because Plackboy Max did not fold, not even a little bit. He stood firm. The tweet was still up for the world to screenshot and repost. NBA YoungBoy had publicly gone at Max in front of millions, throwing heavy words online. Montana backed it up with his own posts, and now the YB fan base was in full attack mode, swarming anything Max posted. Every platform was watching. Everybody wanted to know what Max was going to do next. Was he going to apologize? Was he going to walk it back and try to calm things down? Was he going to pretend he liked the song all along just to avoid more backlash? None of that happened, not even close. Plackboy Max went right back on Twitch and addressed the entire situation head on. No ducking, no hiding, no fake energy. He spoke on everything with confidence, laying out exactly how he felt about the reaction, the backlash, and the personal shots. His response was this mix of confusion, frustration, and straight up standing on business like he refused to let anyone twist his words. He made it clear he wasn't backing down from his opinion just because the pressure was loud. And that decision, that's what pushed this whole situation even further into the spotlight.
How can you say this? What did I do to these? What did I do? What is going on?
Max was seriously confused by the whole thing. He couldn't understand how one honest opinion about one single track spiraled into a full public clash with one of the biggest rappers in the world. In his mind, it was just music talk. Nothing personal, nothing deep. Then he pulled up YoungBoy's tweet live on stream and read the entire post out loud for everybody watching. And his reaction? It was low-key funny, even with all the tension in the air. You could see the mix of disbelief and frustration on his face, like he was trying to process how things escalated this fast.
And he say, Plack you a... He didn't even spell my shit right.
Even while getting called out publicly by one of the biggest rappers alive, Max noticed something wild. Youngboy didn't even spell his name right in the tweet. Out of everything going on, that little detail had people laughing hard. You really can't script stuff like that. But once the quick jokes passed, Max shifted the tone. He dropped a line that basically summed up his entire mindset through this whole situation. From the first reaction to the backlash to the public shots, that statement showed exactly where he stood and why he wasn't backing down.
Like, what do I say to this? Like, I'm still gonna give my opinion, bro. Again, I'm not gonna apologize.
No apology, no backtracking, 10 toes down the whole time. That's what really separated this moment from every other time a streamer clashed with a rapper and quietly folded under pressure. Max didn't soften his stance at all. He doubled down and made it crystal clear he was not saying sorry for giving an honest review. He kept repeating that he didn't do anything wrong by keeping it real. At the same time, he made sure people understood he still respects Youngboy as an artist overall. This wasn't some hate campaign. He wasn't trying to spark drama or throw personal shots. He wasn't being reckless or disrespectful. He was simply doing what he does every single day on his platform. He reacts to music with raw honesty, no filters, no fake hype, no forced praise. And in his eyes, that's exactly what happened here.
This is what I don't understand. You can show love, be like, yo, I'll put his music. Nah, this shit hard.
And then there was one point he kept repeating again and again during the entire stream. He made sure nobody could twist it or misunderstand what he was saying. He slowed it down, broke it apart, and kept circling back to that same message so it would stick. He wanted everybody watching, supporters, critics, even Youngboy's camp, to fully understand exactly where he was coming from and why he wasn't changing his stance.
As soon as you say you don't like somebody's music, now it is an issue. If you don't like a song, if I don't like one song, or if I don't like one thing, it is now a problem.
Max's whole argument was simple and hard to poke holes in. For years, he's shown Youngboy nothing but respect. He's played his music on stream, reacted to full projects, and given him public praise again and again. He's never moved like a hater. So now, the one time he says he's not feeling one single song, suddenly he's treated like the enemy? That didn't add up to him at all. And honestly, a lot of people watching felt the same way. The numbers just weren't making sense. How do you go from showing love for years to being labeled the villain over one review? That question kept hanging in the air while the chat was moving fast and the pressure kept building. Then right in the middle of all that chaos, things took a sharp turn nobody saw coming. Max's phone started ringing live on stream, and it wasn't some random call either. It was DJ Academics on the other end. And the craziest part, the entire conversation played out live for everybody to hear. Thousands of viewers locked in, watching this unfold in real time as the situation got even deeper.
Max, what happened, bro?
Dang. I was reacting to a music video, bro. And I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Academics, who has his own personal relationship with Youngboy and understands how the rap game really moves behind closed doors better than most, called Max to get the full story. He wasn't just calling for gossip either. He wanted to hear directly from Max what actually happened. And when Max explained it, he didn't switch up at all. He told Academics the exact same thing he'd been telling his audience the whole time. No new version, no secret angle, no change in energy, just the same steady stance he'd been standing on from the start.
So look, I will say this. I reacted to his album. I reacted to Massa.
Max explained that this wasn't even the first time he kept it real about Youngboy's music. He reminded everyone that he had reacted to one of Youngboy's albums before and didn't even finish it because it just wasn't connecting with him personally. He wasn't trying to be dramatic or disrespectful back then either. He simply stopped the listen through because it didn't match his taste, and he was upfront about that, just like he always is on his platform.
I didn't finish it. I didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, that's just my. But listen though, back, I've been bumping YB since middle school.
And that's what really makes this whole situation feel so wild when you sit back and think about it. Max is not some Youngboy hater, not even close. He's been locked in with YB's music since he was in middle school. That's years of listening, supporting, and playing the tracks heavy. He's shown steady love to Youngboy's catalog over time, not just once or twice, but consistently on stream in front of thousands. But even with all that history, Academics hinted at something deeper during their call. He basically said, Youngboy usually doesn't spark up over a simple song critique like that. In his view, it probably wasn't just the review itself, it was how the clip looked once it started spreading online. A K pointed out a harsh truth about the internet game. The clips that blow up on TikTok and YouTube are almost always the negative takes, the sharp comments, the hot moments. Nobody reposts the calm praise or the times Max is hyping the music and showing real support. Those moments don't go viral like the criticism does. So what YoungBoy might have seen wasn't the full history of support. He likely saw a viral clip that made it look way more oppositional than Max ever intended. And once that narrative starts moving online, it takes on a life of its own.
We're like, oh, I'm with this. That's not the most viral shit on TikTok. You know what I mean? That's how they kind of get their representation of how people think of them.
And that right there might be the most important piece of this whole situation when you really break it down. Rappers are not sitting through full 2-hour Twitch streams from start to finish. They're not catching the full breakdown, the context, the praise mixed in with the critique. What they see are the 10-second TikTok clips, the short YouTube edits, the snippets the algorithm decides to blast out to millions. And let's be real, those clips almost always spotlight the harshest moments and the most critical takes. They don't go viral when Max is praising the music or showing love. They go viral when he says something didn't hit. That's what drives clicks and comments. So from YoungBoy's perspective, if all he's seeing are viral clips of Max saying a song isn't it, again and again, it can start to look like straight negativity, even if that's not the full picture. The internet trims everything down to the most dramatic seconds and pushes that as the main story. But even with that context, academics brought up another detail that made things even more interesting. Back in July 2025, when YoungBoy dropped an earlier album, Max reacted negatively to that project too. He even told his audience he wasn't going to finish listening to it. So this wasn't just one isolated moment. From YoungBoy's side, this might have felt like a pattern building up over time. Multiple unfavorable reactions stacking on top of each other until it finally boiled over.
You feel me? Shout out YB. I'm not finishing this album. This is not for me.
That was Max's take on the earlier album from months back. And even then, he kept it respectful the whole time. He said YoungBoy's name directly, called him a great artist, and gave him real credit. You could hear the appreciation in his voice. He just wasn't feeling that specific project and decided to be honest about it. No jokes, no slick comments, just a straight opinion. But while all this chaos was unfolding, another twist got added to the story. Streamer Cuffham jumped in and called Plaqueboy Max during the middle of the storm. And it wasn't a casual check-in either. He warned Max straight up about how risky it is to go back and forth with YoungBoy. He basically told him he needed to fall all the way back before things escalated to a level nobody wanted to deal with. The tone shifted real serious in that moment.
You better stand down, Five. At ease, Five. At ease. Them slums ready to go. I'm telling you. We don't play by YB.
But Max wasn't moving an inch. He wasn't budging for anybody, no matter who called or what advice they gave him. And what happened next proved he wasn't just quietly holding his ground. He was ready to push back and take this whole thing to a different level. The diss track and the bigger picture started forming right there. At this point, the entire internet had popcorn out, watching every move in real time. YoungBoy had thrown the first public shot on social media. Max refused to fold. Academics tried to calm both sides down and play middleman. Cuffham called in warning Max to chill before it spiraled further. Meanwhile, fans from both sides were going at each other non-stop across every platform like it was an all-out digital war. But Plaqueboy Max wasn't about to sit there and just take it quietly. Not at all. During one of his streams, Max flipped the energy and started freestyling directly about the situation. He aimed his bars straight at the tension, leaving zero confusion about how he felt. Lines like, "Wanna diss me? I ain't finna backtrack. I'm gonna be a superstar. They mad. I got this massive," had the chat going wild. That freestyle was the first real counter shot, and the internet grabbed it instantly and started spreading it everywhere. And he still wasn't finished. Max linked up with rapper Blueface, and together they put together a full track called Catfish, clearly inspired by everything going on. The whole process was streamed live, so people watched it come together in real time. Blueface stepped in with his signature flow, Max laid down his own verses, and the energy was bold from start to finish. At that point, it wasn't just a back and forth online anymore. It had turned into music for music, bar for bar, and the entire culture was locked in to see where it would go next. The track had bars about not backtracking, about being destined for superstardom, and about people feeling pressed over his rise and success. It wasn't a fully dedicated diss record with names being shouted every 2 seconds, but the message was obvious to anybody really paying attention. Max was not bowing down to anyone, no matter how big their name rang in the industry. Clips from that studio session went crazy viral across every platform. Within hours, they were pulling in thousands and thousands of views. The link up between Max and Blueface had hip-hop blogs scrambling to post updates. Headlines were popping up everywhere about the wild moment a Twitch streamer stepped into the studio with an established rapper to fire back in music form at one of the biggest names in the rap game. But this is where we have to zoom out and really look at the bigger picture, because this situation isn't just about one song review or one viral reaction clip. It's about something that's been building in the industry for years and is finally bubbling over. The power dynamic between rappers and streamers has shifted in a major way. That's what people in Max's circle and other commentators kept stressing during this whole drama. Streamers like Plackboy Max, Kai Cenat, and DJ Academics now command massive audiences that can rival what major artists bring in on their biggest days. When a top streamer with millions of loyal viewers says a song is fire, that clip spreads instantly. Suddenly, huge waves of new listeners are tapping in to check the track out. But when that same streamer says a song didn't hit, the opposite effect can move just as fast. That opinion can shape the narrative before the artist even gets a chance to respond. And that uncomfortable truth is what's really been sitting underneath all this tension. It's not just about hurt feelings. It's about influence, control, and who really moves the culture in this new era of music and media.
So if somebody's, all right, if they see, like, let's say Kai Cenat, for example, bro, if Kai Cenat would have said, yo, this song is so fire, a lot of people in the chat probably would have that music.
That's the new reality of the streaming era, and the entire music industry has to deal with it whether they like it or not. Content creators have become the new gatekeepers when it comes to music discovery for a whole generation. A lot of young fans aren't finding songs through radio or even playlists first. They're hearing them through streamers reacting live, giving instant opinions, and shaping the vibe in real time. And some rappers still haven't fully accepted how big that power shift really is. It's a massive change in control and influence, and you can see the tension every single time a situation like this explodes online.
NBA Youngboy is the king of having sheep. Okay, remember everybody was saying why be better on Twitter, everywhere, TikTok, everywhere.
And the fact that both Max and Youngboy are booked to perform at Rolling Loud on the exact same day added a whole new layer of tension to this already heated situation. This isn't just online tweets anymore. Academics pointed out during their call that Youngboy is headlining the entire festival, and Max is also scheduled to perform that same Sunday. That means they could easily cross paths backstage, in the parking lot, in VIP, anywhere inside that venue. And with how personal and loud things have gotten online, nobody on the internet feels fully comfortable about what could happen if they end up in the same building. The anticipation alone has people on edge. Now let's really talk about Youngboy's history with beef, because this situation with Max is not the first time things escalated over something many people would have brushed off and kept moving. Youngboy has built a huge career, but it's also been marked by multiple public feuds over the years. Music rivalries, personal conflicts, industry tension, it's all blended together at different points. His long-running issues with Lil Durk and the OTF camp became one of the most talked-about rivalries in modern hip-hop, especially with how emotional and layered that situation became over time. He's also had public back-and-forth moments with artists like Kodak Black, Fredo Bang, NLE Choppa, and others. And more recently, the tension hasn't just stayed inside rap. It's expanded into the streaming world too, with creators like Plackboy Max, Kai Cenat, and others finding themselves in the mix. So when you zoom out and look at the pattern, Max was never likely to be some special exception. Historically, Youngboy has reacted strongly to criticism, especially when it goes viral. Whether it's music, interviews, or commentary, he tends to respond fast and direct. That's been his style for years. In a 2026 interview, Youngboy even mentioned that he was done with rap feuds and trying to move past that chapter. But sometimes what gets said publicly and what plays out in real time don't line up perfectly. And based on everything that just unfolded, people couldn't help but notice that difference. Then another voice entered the conversation and shifted the tone completely. Charleston White, known for his controversial and outspoken opinions on hip-hop and street culture, shared a story about Youngboy that made a lot of people pause. Whether you agree with him or not, when he speaks, people listen because he doesn't sugarcoat anything. And what he said next added a deeper layer to the discussion about Youngboy's mindset, his reactions, and why situations like this might escalate the way they do.
This been a star rapper since they released him from the juvenile detention center.
That's true. That's true.
He's
You're
a juvenile
right.
delinquent that became a rapper.
White pointed out something a lot of people in the culture either forget or just ignore completely. Before the fame, before the plaques, before the sold-out shows, Youngboy was a teenager dealing with serious legal trouble and heavy pressure at a very young age. He was caught up in the system long before he ever stepped into a real studio or had a hit record. And that kind of background shapes how someone sees the world. When you grow up constantly feeling watched, judged, or targeted, it can make you react fast and strong to any kind of criticism later on. That context doesn't excuse everything, but it definitely helps explain why pushback might feel more personal to him than it looks on the surface.
That kid said, tell Charleston White, I'm a gangster, and I was misled wrong, so I'm leading wrong.
That line from one of Youngboy's tracks had Charleston White completely quiet for a moment, and that almost never happens. For him to pause like that said a lot. The lyrics showed Youngboy admitting he had been shaped by his environment and even hinting that he once led others in the wrong direction. That kind of self-awareness is something many critics don't usually credit him for. It revealed a layer people don't always see when they focus only on the headlines and the drama. But at the same time, it also raised a serious point. Millions of young fans are listening to everything he drops. They repeat the lyrics, follow the energy, and sometimes mirror the attitude. When the music carries aggression, tension, or constant conflict, that energy travels fast. That's the weight that comes with having a huge platform. And that brings us right back to the center of this whole situation between Youngboy and Max. This feud puts a spotlight on the growing tension between hip-hop artists and online streamers. In this new era, simply giving an honest opinion can trigger major backlash if it spreads the wrong way online. We're in a time where top streamers can influence what people listen to faster than radio ever could. Their reactions travel instantly. A clip can shape public opinion in minutes. That kind of power used to belong to record labels, DJs, and magazine editors. Now it's in the hands of creators going live from their rooms. And when artists struggle to accept that shift, situations like this can explode again and again. Plaque Max made his stance clear when he refused to apologize. He said he's never going to compromise who he is just to avoid drama. He's not going to fake hype a song or switch up his reaction out of fear of backlash. In his mind, staying real with his audience matters more than keeping everyone comfortable. That raw authenticity is exactly what built Max's platform from the ground up in the first place. That unfiltered honesty is the reason people tap in every time he goes live. And as of February 22nd, 2026, the tension has stayed strictly online. No in-person run-ins, no backstage moments, nothing physical. Max stood firm on everything he said, kept it limited to the freestyle in the track, and Youngboy hasn't added anything publicly since his first heated post. But let's not act like this is over. Rolling Loud is coming up fast, and both of them are set to perform on the exact same day at the exact same festival. That means they'll be in the same building, breathing the same air, with the whole culture watching closely. Fans, blogs, other artists, everybody is waiting to see what happens if they cross paths in real life. One thing is clear though, Plaque Max showed the world that streamers are not automatically backing down to rappers anymore. The influence has shifted in a big way. Whether the industry likes it or not, artists are no longer shielded from public opinions the way they used to be. Honest criticism hits different in the streaming era. Now I want to hear from you. Was Max wrong for standing on his opinion and refusing to apologize? Or did Youngboy take things way too far over one song review? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. If you rock with breakdowns like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody who's been following the drama. And stay locked in, because this story might not be done just yet.